Hello again and welcome to another reflection from the manse. Let's begin with a wee prayer. Heavenly Father, be with us at this moment. Bring a word of comfort but also a word of challenge to us. We thank you that you are our good shepherd who walks with us on the way. Amen. The theme today is delayed gratification coupled with gratitude. By and large, most of the time, we're used to getting what we want, when we want it, where we want it, in fact, how we want it. And then along comes a pandemic and there's panic at the supermarkets and the shops. Very instructive. We can smile and perhaps even laugh about it now, but it says something about our society. Instant gratification is what we're used to, but delayed gratification is what we need. A number of years ago, I was speaking to a lady in my church in Aberdeen, and she was saying, she was telling me a story about being in Asda, doing her weekly shop. And she was looking at all the shelves and she was thinking, what am I going to have for tea tonight? And she couldn't make up her mind. She says, I'm a wee bit bored of what I'm eating just now. And then all of a sudden, she just realised what she was doing. And she thought for a moment of all the people in the developing world, and in fact, the people throughout history who would love to have been in a supermarket, absolutely surrounded with the produce that's there. But when we have so much, sometimes we get fussy, we get choosy, and we get selfish. Now, fair dues to her, she realised that and said a wee prayer for asking for forgiveness. Now contrast that with another story I heard from a farmer in my first charge up in Buchan, who said that when he was young, they only had meat at the weekends. One day a week they got fish, but the rest of the time it was potatoes and vegetables, of course loads and loads of porridge, and they had eggs and milk as well. But he said they looked forward to these special days, the day that they got fish, and of course at the weekend when there was meat to eat. And of course that's where the idea of the Sunday roast comes from. It was a treat, something to look forward to at the end of the week. But now we're saturated with choice, with the diet that we have. And instant gratification can blind us and shut us off to the need for gratitude for simple things, for small things. Now, interestingly, in Psalm 23 that we're looking at, the older translation had it, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." That's an unfortunate translation of the Hebrew. It would be better, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." Now, many of you have heard me say that my favourite band is the Rolling Stones. And one of their great hits from the 60s was entitled, "You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you might just find you get what you need." And there's a difference between our wants and our needs. Now think of the 23rd Psalm. The needs of the sheep are very simple: grass, water, and the security of the shepherd's presence. And when you think about it, our needs, both materially and spiritually, are fairly straightforward too. But we're a wee bit like Oliver Twist. Often we want more. So the challenge of the 23rd Psalm is to remind us to make that distinction about what we want, but also what we need. And the Psalm says we lack nothing. God has blessed us materially, and He has blessed us spiritually. We have already what we need. And faith is learning to live with these blessings and being grateful for them. Our expectation levels are awful high because of the culture we live in. And maybe this time of crisis and pandemic will help us to think again. And as we meditate on the 23rd Psalm, to realise that this is an important issue. So can I suggest 3 things? Firstly, when we get up in the morning, just say a wee prayer and thank God that we're still alive and we're facing a new day. During the day, when we have food, even if you're not that religious, just sitting at the table or sitting with a plate in front of you, just say a wee thank you inwardly. Don't take it for granted. And lastly, when we go to bed at night, thank God that we've been through another day and ask for a blessed rest. Go with God. I'll see you tomorrow.